Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I want to bring you to a different journey that starts 10 years ago. And it was when Sir Alex Ferguson announced that he's going to be retiring, and the speculations about who's going to be his successor kind of started. And all my friends were asking me, who do you want to actually replace Sir Alex Ferguson? And my honest answer all the time was, I really want this to be Jurgen Klopp. At this time, Borussia Dortmund were flying high. They were playing this super aggressive, super dynamic, very in-your-face style with a lot of press, with this rock and roll football that he brought later to Liverpool. And I was always wondering why we didn't bring him to Man United. And I got the answer actually in the book of Sir Alex Ferguson, where he wrote that he was actually approached, but at this point in time, Jurgen Klopp answered he is looking forward towards building something bigger in Dortmund and stuff like this. And later, like maybe a couple of years ago, in a revealing interview for Liverpool, he said that he didn't feel right. He didn't feel like this was the right job for him. But when Liverpool came knocking, he was like, this feels right. So unfortunately, he did not accept the job. And as you know, I love these experiments. So I'm going to try to answer using a retro database of FM what could have been if Jurgen Klopp actually accepted to be the successor of Sir Alex Ferguson. So let's go. Okay, here we are. This is a squad of Man United at the beginning of 2013 season. You can see Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney, Shinji Kagawa, by the way, one of the top 3 most expensive players at the point in time. Rafael, David here, of course, Moran Fellaini, Nani, Nemanja Vidic, Phil Jones, Danny Welbeck, Chicharito, Patrice Evra. Even you can see that Wilfred Zaha is here, so quite a big squad, by the way, and Rio Ferdinand is there as well. So what is Klopp gonna do with it? Well, he was lining them in a 4-2-3-1 with Van Persie up top, Kagawa, Nani, and Rooney, so pretty well done. And as you can see, the start of the season was okay-ish for Man United. They managed to win on penalties the Community Shield against Wigan. They lost to Tottenham away, but it was a game in which they actually managed to create 3xG versus less than 1, and they lost it 2-1, so maybe kind of unfortunate. Roberto Soldado scored a goal. This is absolutely insane. But the thing is that he didn't make any transfer, brought in a right back called Mario and sent him directly on loan to Girona, so no transfers in. Let's see how it goes the entire season. Well, top 4 finish with none of the players of Man United in the top 3 in terms of individual stats is not the best start he could ever hope for, but keeping in mind how things went with Man United and how the first seasons of Klopp were with Liverpool, I'm not expecting him to start banging titles right out the door, but I don't know, could have been better. In terms of individual performances, both Javier Hernandez and Robin van Persie managed to score 18, although Chicharito scored them coming in as a sub mostly. And in terms of assists, we had Wayne Rooney with 14 and Michael Carrick with 11. Now, if you're wondering what happened in the Champions League and in other tournaments, they actually managed to reach their round of 16 of the Champions League, where they lost to Paris Saint-Germain, knocked out in the FA Cup by Chelsea in the semi-final, and got to the final of the Capital One Cup. What is Klopp gonna do this summer? What players is he gonna bring? Who's he gonna offload? Let's see. Kinda surprising to me, they didn't do any marquee signings. They only signed Jan Mvila from Rubin, a defensive midfielder, French one, and Younes Belhanda, an attacking midfielder from Dynamo Kiev, so kind of a weird budget business, I'd say. But it seems that they were off to a good beginning of the season with 3 wins and 1 draw, and 10 points meant that they're going to be first after 4 rounds of football. Can they do it throughout the whole season? Unfortunately to Man United fans, the answer is no. This time they finished 3rd, but kind of close, 4 points behind Man City, 1 point behind Tottenham, despite the fact that David had the most clean sheets, 18, which meant the defense of Man United was working quite well, but they lost 6 despite of that fact. And believe it or not, this season again, Javier Hernandez tied his top goal scorer of Man United with Robin van Persie with 19, Shinji Kagawa with 15, Wayne Rooney with 12, but nobody except Michael Carrick managed to put in more than 10 assists. And in terms of the other competitions, they reached the semi-final of the Champions League, which is pretty well, I think. Runner-up for the English FA Cup and knocked out in the 4th round by Arsenal for the Capital One Cup. Things are looking better. Can he keep doing good business? Because this is kind of important moment for him right now. Quite a lot of the players are getting older. Robin van Persie is 32 now. Wayne Rooney is not getting younger. Kind of a rebuild should be starting right now. Okay, the improvement in performances is obviously there because in the third season, Man United finishes second, unfortunately for them. City with 3 titles in a row, and the difference was 13 points, so a pretty big one. But they managed to win the FA Cup, lost the final of the Capital One Cup, got to the round 16 of the Champions League. So I think that now a very important season number 4 is coming for Klopp. He finished 4th, 3rd, 2nd, won a couple of trophies, and it's time to win the big one, or at least the Premier League. The player with most appearances for Jurgen Klopp in his season number 3 is called, drumroll, Phil Jones. He played 52 games and scored 3 goals, had 3 assists. Javier Hernandez, 3rd season in a row, most goals for Man United. By the way, 18, 19 goals, like your top goal scorer. I'm kind of worried for their attack. Robin van Persie having kind of a decline. Wayne Rooney scored more than him this season, and Nani with 11 assists, Shinji Kagawa with 10. Shinji Kagawa, one of the most consistent performances for him. We can see that Patrice Evra is retiring now in Man United. I think that this should probably have been the case in real life as well. It is what it is. Let's go to season number 4. Now, after Patrice Evra retired, we see 2 big names also leaving the club. It is Ashley Young and Robin van Persie leaving on a free. And now that they've lost a left back and a right wing back, they bought Lucas from Botafogo, 29-year-old Brazilian, to play as right back, and Cristian Ansaldi on a free transfer, 30-year-old Argentinian who weirdly spent quite a lot of time at Rubin in Russia. So the Russian, the Eastern European link, still working in a weird way. I'm not really sure that not adding talent in the attack is a good sign. And let's check the season. Let's see how it went. And the impossible happened. Tottenham won the title thanks to a Christian Eriksen, obviously, with most assists and highest average rating. Despite the fact that Nani had most Player of the Match awards, yet again, we don't see any of Man United players in the top goal scorers. We have Luis Suarez second with 19. Doumbia for Tottenham as well with 19. This guy, Vieto, he's banging them for Arsenal throughout the whole experiment. And Man United finishing 4th, so it's kind of a drop-off. 77 points. Yeah, it is closer. It is 9 points over the top, not 13. But it is kind of a bad season for them, which is also confirmed by the results in the other tournaments. In the Champions League, knocked out in the quarterfinal. I think that this is a good performance, but they got knocked out in the FA Cup semi-final by Tottenham, Capital One Cup in the 4th round by Tottenham, lost the Community Shield, so no trophies this season. With his 12 assists, Nani, the best player of Man United this season. In terms of goals, Hernandez, 4th season in a row, most goals, 16. This is kind of concerning. Danny Welbeck with 15, kind of developing into the player that everyone wanted him to be. Wayne Rooney doing it there. And you see this guy, Pedro, I missed when he joined, because he obviously, I don't know, they bought him for 46 million. It was obviously between the saves that this is a good transfer, so they actually brought in the player for the attack. And I don't know, it looks okay. By the way, Dusan Tadic, 4 starts, 2 goals, 1 assist. I'm not sure why they did this one. It is what it is. Okay, it was definitely time for more dramatic changes to the squad. And we are seeing now in Season 5, before Season 5, Fabio Anderson and Michael Carrick leaving. Paulinho from Tottenham, both for up to 61 million. Juan Sanchez Minho, a left midfielder, an Argentinian, brought in from Boca. Okay, they're doing good business with South America. Craig Dawson from Wolves for 14. Vicente, another Brazilian, a striker, 20 years old, 15 dribbling, 15 finishing, 15 acceleration. These are the signings that I was expecting. This is the Sadio Mane. This is the Sadio Mane that I was expecting to see. Erwin Mulder from Feyenoord, a Dutch goalkeeper. And another interesting one, Marcel Schmelzer comes on loan from Chelsea. Despite the fact they managed to win the Capital One Cup, it is another season to forget. This time finishing 5th. This is the worst so far. They are out of the Champions League. They also got knocked out this season in the Champions League in the round of 16 by Real Madrid. Cardiff City, of all teams, knocked them out of the English FA Cup. 78 points, not good enough. City winning 4 in 5 seasons. This is the nightmare that Man United fans are living. We are living in the last 10 years. I hope that Klopp can fix it for us, but it's not looking good so far. At least the attack is working better this time because Javier Hernandez, the top goal scorer of Man United. 25 goals this season. Wayne Rooney, 23 goals. Danny Welbeck with 13. Shinji Kagawa with 11. Paulinho, the new signing with 10 assists. So the rebuild is kind of starting to work. I'm kind of concerned because Wayne Rooney is now 32. Maybe we're gonna see him leave as well. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing left to see because Jurgen Klopp left Man United, joined Barcelona, and now, 10 years in the future, he is actually the manager of Chelsea. If you wonder who is currently the manager of Man United 10 years in the future, it is Diego Simeone. And if you wonder whether they managed to win something, the answer is unfortunately not really. And now the 10 seasons in the future that we are, the important players of the team are Serge Gnabry, Alphonso Areola, Leon Goretzka. And as you can see also, Danny Welbeck is still in the team, Javier Hernandez is still in the team, Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, he had a great career for Man United, and that kind of concludes this experiment. I'm really sad to see that Jurgen Klopp, even in FM, couldn't do magic wonders with Man United. It's a sad thing. I honestly was really hoping for him to join Man United and to be the successor of Sir Alex Ferguson. I kinda don't believe the story, that it didn't feel right. I'm more likely to believe what he told, or at least what Sir Alex Ferguson said in his book, that at the point he was feeling that the project with Dortmund is kind of a long-term thing. He was going to the Champions League finals. He was hoping to maybe overthrow Bayern in the long run. I'm not really sure that what he said later, like 2 years ago for Liverpool TV, was not only because it's Man United and he felt he has to say it. And yeah, honestly, I would have loved to see him there. I think it was just a bad timing. If Dortmund had the bad season that they had when he left, when Man United approached, I'm pretty sure he would have joined. And if you enjoyed this content, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see something different, a different experiment, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye.